Christopher Cecil.
And could you spell that for the record, please?
CHRISTOPHRCCIL.
And how are you employed?
I'm employed with the Indiana State Police.
And what is your rank currently?
I'm a first sergeant.
So, First Sergeant Cecil, how long have you been employed with the Indiana State Police?
Almost 20 years.
And did you go through special training and schooling to be a law enforcement officer?
Yes, I did, sir.
And do you continue to go through yearly training to keep updated on current laws, policy, those kind of things?
Yes, sir.
And what is your current assignment?
So I'm the commander of the Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
And throughout those duties, do you have an occasion to take cellular phones or electronic devices and what we refer to as dump them, which means take the contents off those devices and examine that information?
Yes.
And is that something that you routinely do?
Not routinely anymore, since I'm the task force commander, but I did prior to that position.
Currently, you're the first sergeant who is working on the new analysis of LG's phone?
That's correct.
But you've done an analysis prior to this new one, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about when did you do the prior one?
I did the prior one in 2019.
Okay, and that one's complete?
Yes.
You decided to do a new analysis of it, why?
New tools, and then, also, technology's changed, so this was done in 2019, we're in 2024, and I know, from experience, that forensic software updates and gets better and can find things.
But the analysis for 2022, you did draft a report for that analysis. Is that correct?
You mean 2019?
I'm sorry, yes, 2019. Thank you.
Yes.
And that report has been turned over to defense. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so I'm going to focus on that report mainly. Through that report, were you able to determine that there was a video on LG's phone taken on the High Bridge on the day of the murders?
Yes.
And that video is the famous video that we know that has Bridge Guy in it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it's also the famous video where Bridge Guy says, "Down the hill." Is that correct?
Correct.
And so that is the point where AW and LG are abducted from the Monon High Bridge. Correct?
My understanding, yes.
Okay. What I want to know specifically is what is the time that video was taken.
So referring to my report here.
Let me establish foundation for that.
Go ahead.
What do you have in your hand?
So I have a case report.
And is that case report one that you drafted?
It's one that I drafted.
And was it drafted after the analysis of LG's phone in 2019?
Yes.
And it is your report?
This is my report.
And you believe it's accurate?
Yes.
And actually it says Defendant's Exhibit 1 at the bottom. Is it something that was admitted in your deposition?
Yes, on May 15th.
Okay. And would it help you to refer to this report to refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask the court to allow the witness to refer to the report to refresh recollection on the details of the timestamp on the video.
You may.
First Sergeant Cecil, can you take a look at that report and tell me the time, if you can find it, when the video started on the Monon High Bridge?
So the video starts on February 13th, 2017, at 14:13:51 or 2:13 and 51 seconds p.m.
And was there a location or GPS location associated with that video?
So when the video initially starts, the GPS geolocates kind of over near the Delphi High School, but then, within a matter of seconds, it comes back to the Monon Trail. That's where it goes.
And there were pictures on the Monon High Bridge trail taken before the video. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were able to recover those pictures?
Yes.
And those pictures have GPS coordinates with them. Is that correct?
The pictures don't, but there are, when Snapchat's being used, there are GPS locations when Snapchat's being used.
And so there are pictures taken throughout Snapchat and you're able to get a GPS location through Snapchat of those pictures?
Yes.
And they show that the pictures were taken on the Monon High Bridge as well?
Yes.
And you were able to examine the pictures and the video. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in both the picture and the video, does it portray or does it show a W?
Yes.
And is she wearing the same clothing?
Yes.
And so you're confident the video is taken at the same location and time as the picture prior to it?
Yes.
Okay. And again, give me the time of that video.
So the time of that video, it starts at 2:13 and 51 seconds p.m. on February 13th.
And when does it end?
It ends 43 seconds later at 2 hours 14 minutes and 34 seconds or 14:14:34.
And then you're able to track movement on the phone after that. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that is through the internal functioning or the internal GPS of the phone.
Well, has to do with the Apple Health data.
Okay. And you're able to track. So you're able to track movement of that phone?
Right. I'm not tracking GPS, I don't know where the phone went, I'm tracking.
Just movement?
Yes.
And at some point, does the phone stop moving?
Yes.
When is that?
So the phone stops moving same date, February 13th, 2017, at 14:32:39.
So 2:32 p.m.?
Correct.
And through your analysis, have you been able to tell, did the phone move after that time?
No, it did not.
And do you know how long did the phone stay on?
My understanding from my examination I'm currently still in the process on, it stayed on until sometime after 4:30 in the morning on February 14th th.
And so from 2:32 p.m. until 4:30 a.m. on February 14th th, the phone never moved?
Correct.
And do you know where the phone was ultimately found?
My understanding, it was found underneath one of the girls.
Okay, just a moment, Judge.
Yes.
Judge, I don't have any other questions.
All right. Ms. Auger.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, First Sergeant, Sergeant Cecil, how do I refer to you?
You can call me First Sergeant Cecil.
Okay. First Sergeant Cecil, now you said earlier the girls were abducted at 2:14 on February 13th of 2017, correct?
I didn't say they were abducted, I just said that this is the video happened.
Okay. You have no idea if the girls met someone they knew or what happened at 2:14 when the video ended, correct?
I only know what's on the phone.
Sure. So you can't say that they were or were not abducted?
I can't say anything, you're right.
Okay. Now, the ability to track movement on the phone you said came from Apple Health data?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the Apple Health data, does it show LG's phone leaving from LG's home do you have a map? Okay. Did Apple Health show LG's phone moving from her home over to the location where they got out of the car and walked onto the Monon High Bridge?
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Well, you said that the cell phone tracks movement, correct?
Correct.
And it shows movement when people walk?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily show movement if you're in a vehicle traveling down the road, correct?
The only way it could is if, for some reason, it would detect a movement as if, like, you went over a bump, right?
Okay. So it doesn't show any movement of LG's phone leaving from her home to the trail that day when they were in a vehicle, correct?
And you're referring to the Apple Health data, correct?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Pardon?
It does not, the Apple Health data does not.
Okay. Because it doesn't necessarily pick up if you're in the car unless something kind of significant happens, is that right?
Right, like if you hit a bump or something, yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the area around the south end of the Monon High Bridge?
No, ma'am. I've never been there. I only know what I've seen on the news reports.
Okay. Are you aware that between the south end of the Monon High Bridge and the location where the bodies were found, there is an access road?
I did not know that.
And the Apple Health data, the number of steps and the distance could have gotten those girls to somewhere on that access road, is that correct?
Not necessarily.
But it's not wrong, it's not right, you just don't know?
Correct. You're right, I don't know.
It's a possibility?
Possibility.
Now, would you agree with me, Sergeant Cecil, that different information is transmitted to an iPhone by different measures? Does that make sense?
No, ma'am, I'm sorry, it doesn't.
Your Honor, I was told that Mr. Cecil, that he was gonna be dismissed. Can I have a minute to find an exhibit that we had put away?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry, my exhibits were put away, so it's a little inaudible. First, Sergeant Cecil, I'm gonna show you what I've marked as Exhibit QQQ, which is a hand-drawn map of the areas where the bodies were found, and if you can see this area right here.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can highlight that, is an access road. And would the Apple Health data get the girls somewhere on that access road, do you know?
Like on a specific point? Are you asking me like a GPS point?
Any point. If they walked this distance and this many steps, they could have ended up on this access road, correct?
So Apple Health data doesn't track GPS.
No, it doesn't. I'm not asking you for a location. I'm saying if we start the number of steps that you measured.
Affirmative response.
Have you measured any of those steps?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know I don't know which girl could have been carrying the phone, because...
Sure.
As I mentioned in my deposition, if you're carrying my phone and then you give it to me, you may walk different steps than I do, because I may be a little bit taller than you and have a different stride than what you would have.
Sure. And the steps are more accurate than the actual distance that the iPhone reports. Would you agree with that?
I'm not sure. I've got that written down in my notes, but I can't recollect that right now off the top of my head.
Okay.
Ms. Augier.
Auger. Yes?
I apologize.
No, you're fine. It's a tough one.
To answer your question, from my research preparing for this other examination, both of them are gonna be correct, according to research that's been done by other police officers who've wrote a white paper on this.
Okay. So the distance will be as accurate as the number of steps?
From this research that's been done by another law enforcement officer out of Europe, because I have the paper, it's part of my residential search that I've done for this examination.
Okay. And just to be clear, your testimony is that the distance traveled would be as accurate as the number of steps?
I'm not saying, I'm just telling you what I've learned. I'm not saying that I know that for a fact. I do not know that for a fact.
Okay. And would you agree with me, hearkening back to your testimony 2 minutes prior, if one individual has a different stride?
Correct.
Then this number of steps will be different than the amount, the distance traveled?
Correct.
Now, your gray key report that you did in 2019, or your report that you did in 2019, do you recall that?
You mean my written report?
Your written report.
Okay.
It was admitted as an exhibit, it's labeled Defendant's I, but I don't. Your Honor, do you have the exhibit?
No.
The gray key report?
No.
No?
It was not admitted as an exhibit.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it.
First, Sergeant Cecil, I'm gonna show you what has been marked as Defendant's RRR.
Okay.
What is that?
Let me look through it here. So this is my written report, my digital forensic report that I had wrote back in 2019.
And you paid a lot of attention to that, given the fact that this is a double homicide, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you give attention to everything you do.
Yes.
And if you could, please, look at page 10, the last line.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want to back up to the middle of the page first. There is, in all caps, it says LG, there's a little notation there, I don't know what is, 38A158, you see that?
Yeah, the LG, tilde, 38A, yes, ma'am.
Tilde, thank you. And what did you note there?
It's a picture of the Monon High Bridge and it's a picture that was uploaded to Snapchat and the picture is just like somebody would be standing in front, like you're getting ready to walk across it.
I'm gonna show you what's marked as defendant's exhibit, well, sorry.
Okay.
Is that the photo you're referring to?
It's not this exact one, because this has got it's got that written up there on it.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Is there a phone, or a picture that you have learned of that you could not find on LG's phone?
Yes.
What was that?
That was a picture of AW walking across the bridge and it's kind of taken off on an angle.
And that was posted on her Snapchat account?
So my understanding from social media is that's what it was and I was asked to try to see if I could find that by the investigators.
And you could not find that?
I could not find it.
Now, if we go back to page 10, at the last line of your report.
Yes.
What do you say?
So on the last line, on February 13th, 2017, at 22 hours 32 minutes and 26 seconds, I wrote, last recorded data received by iPhone, the iPhone battery was likely depleted.
And what was the last data you mean was received?
I'm looking at the data for that day, and this, as I testified in my deposition.
Okay. But even if we don't look, so what you're saying now today, when you said May 15th, is that you don't believe the phone's battery was likely depleted?
Right.
Okay. But did you also make a mistake when you said, last recorded data received by iPhone?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When you said that, what data were you referring to?
If you look on the next page, right here, where I talk about, it says, after the phone, it stopped recording, it continued to function, meaning it's still powered on. I found no evidence the user physically interacted with the phone. The phone continued to receive iMessages, SMS messages, FaceTime calls, mobile calls, and other similar communication. In addition, several applications updated in the background. The activity continued until the phone battery was depleted. That's what I put in there, that's what I was referring to.
Okay. And were you referring to a particular piece of data that you believed the phone received at 2232:26?
I do not remember. I don't know.
Would you agree with me that an iPhone receives data in different ways or messages in different ways?
That's a very broad. You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Okay. Well, so if an iPhone receives an SMS message?
Right.
That is a short message service, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And that's transmitted by a cell tower, is that right?
I don't know a whole lot about cell towers, how that is coming there.
Okay.
'Cause it could be.
You testified to that in your deposition.
So it could come from a cell phone tower, it could come from Wi-Fi, there's other things it could come from.
Okay. How does an iMessage get to a phone?
It could come from over the cellular any or it could come from the internet, so if you're connected to Wi-Fi. If you don't have cell phone service, if you're on Wi-Fi, you can get an iMessage.
Okay. Is it your belief that LG's phone was connected to Wi-Fi between 5:44 p.m. on February 13th and 4:33 a.m. on February 14th?
No.
And if it's not connected to Wi-Fi, the only way it can receive an SMS message is through a cell tower, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you agree with me? If LG's cell phone received 0 SMS messages between 4:06 p.m. on February 13th th and 4:33 a.m. on February 14th, 2017?
I would have to look at that. I can't.
Okay. We talked about that in your deposition.
Right, but
Recall that?
I vaguely recall it.
Okay. What? Yeah. What do you need to look at?
I can pull up my computer and
Okay.
look, if the judge is okay with that.
That's fine.
It may take a bit for me to pull up the report, but yes.
Sergeant Cecil, do you have
I'm sorry, which?
the copies of your report?
Do you want your sick, back?
Yes, while we're waiting on you.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd go ahead and admit Defendant's Exhibit RRR, which is his 2019 report. Defendant's Exhibit RRR offered.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Without objection, RRR is admitted. Defendant's Exhibit RRR admitted.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, I have my computer up right now.
And can you tell me how many SMS messages did the phone receive between 4:06 p.m. on February 13th and 4:33 a.m. on February 14th, 2017?
So 4:33 and 4, I'm sorry?
What was the first time?
4:06 p.m.
4:06.
on the 13th.
And 4:33? You said 4:06 to 4:33?
Yes.
So there's nothing at 4:06, but at 4 hours 33 minutes and 31 seconds, from what magnet is showing that there is a SMS message or 9 messages as it's referring to. And then, this is it's the same one. There's 2 of the same ones here. There's another one at 4:33:36. There's one at 4 hours 33 minutes and 37 seconds. 4 hours 33 minutes and 38 seconds, 4 hours 33 minutes and 39 seconds, 4 hours 33 minutes and 40 seconds. There's multiple SMS messages at 4:33, but at different seconds throughout that minute.
Sure.
That's what you're asking.
There's 15 of them, isn't there?
Some of these may be duplicate, because it'll show up as an iMessage and it may also show up as an SMS, so it may be the same person.
Okay. There's the messages on your report that are marked SMS.
Affirmative response.
How many of them are there at 4:33
So,
a.m. on February 14th and 17?
are you counting the duplicates?
Are there notes on February 13th that show up as an SMS message?
February 13th or February 14th? I'm sorry, you're confusing me, ma'am.
Did I say February 13th?
Yes, ma'am.
I meant 2/14. I'll tell you what, let me do this. I'm gonna show you Defendant's Exhibit TTT.
Okay.
Does that help you? That is from the Celebrite extraction.
Whose Celebrite extraction is this one? Is this mine or Brian Bunner's?
That is 2017.
Okay. I'm not gonna be familiar with this.
Okay. If it doesn't help you, that's fine.
I can look at it, but I'm just saying I'm not familiar. I won't be familiar with this. I'll compare it.
Judge, if it helps things, the state's willing to concede that there were messages that came in at 4:33 a.m. on February 14th th, and the court can consider that. If that helps move things along, I'm satisfied with that, Judge. I don't know that the specific number matters, but the state's willing to agree that messages came in at 4:33 a.m. on February 14th.
I think the number's important, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So I'm looking at this with Magnet, okay? And then, there is one call that Magnet has not parsed. I'm not looking at it with Celebrite.
Okay.
And I can show you which one that is.
Which one is it?
It's number 3, when I think it says Becky Patty Marchand. For some reason, that entry is not here. Again, this is the reason why you gotta use multiple forensic tools, because, to put everything together. I've only got one of them open right now. Celebrite takes a little bit to load on my computer. Magnet's pretty fast, so I'm trying to be efficient here for the court, but these other ones are fine, we're here.
Okay. And does that perhaps, so if we look at Defendant's Exhibit TTT?
Yes.
That shows 15 SMS messages on LG's phone, but you're saying you think that number 3 didn't go through for some reason, and in fact, that box is blank and it says, what does it say there? Unknown.
So what I'm saying is Celebrite may have parsed it, cause again, you're going off something that I didn't do, but actually, when I'm looking at it with a completely different, separate tool, it's not showing it here, so I would have to pull up Celebrite and compare it and see if Celebrite parsed it.
How about this, can we agree, First Sergeant Cecil, that LG's phone received at least 14 SMS messages at 4:33 a.m. on February 14, 2017?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And are those, and you agree with all of the 4:33 SMS messages at the top of the page other than, perhaps, line number 3?
What are you asking when I say I agree?
You agree that LG's phone received all of the text messages that this.
Yeah, number 3 I would have to do more analysis, but yeah, I would, that's what the software is showing.
Okay. Thank you. Now, what was the last SMS message received by LG's cell phone on February 13, 2017?
From what Magnet is showing here is that on February 13, 2017, at 22:48:22 or 10:48 and 22 seconds p.m. was the last SMS message.
Okay. Would you agree with me that Defendant's Exhibit TTT does not show that SMS message?
It's only one page, so, it would.
Those are in, well, would you agree with me, sir, that those are in chronological order?
They're in reverse chronological order, but...
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And if you look at TTT, what is the time of the last SMS message to the phone?
Here it shows it's actually February 13, 17, at 4:47 and 33 seconds p.m.
Thank you. Move to admit Exhibit TTT. Defendant's Exhibit TTT offered.
No objection.
All right. Without objection, TTT's admitted.
Thank you. So your data is even different than Brian Bunner's data from 2017, is that right?
Yes, but I know why.
Okay. Why?
Because Brian Bunner, after he did his exam several days later or weeks later, he connected to the network to do an iCloud dump of LG's phone, which would have automatically brought some of this data there. This is the reason why this is here.
Now, you have different software that analyzes this data, right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's go back to the SMS messages. Those are timestamped by the phone as of the time they are received by the phone, correct?
What Magnet and Celebrite are doing is they're pulling if you look right here.
So that's not my question.
It's pulling it it's how it's sent.
Not my question.
Okay.
Okay? When an SMS message appears on a cell phone, it appears timestamped as of the time it's received by the cell phone, correct?
No. I just had my phone in airplane mode and received a text message and it was sent. I received it. When I opened it up, it showed me when my daughter sent it to me.
An SMS message?
iMessage.
Okay. Those are different, right?
Same thing.
No. Okay. An iMessage is timestamped as of the time it's sent, correct? It goes through the Apple server, goes through the internet, and those are timestamped as of the time they're sent, correct?
When they're sent from, if you're texting me and you're sending me a text, yes, when you're sending it to me.
And I want to be clear, because there are lots of different things that people talk about as text messages. So you got SMS messages?
Right.
That you earlier testified are transmitted through the tower if LG's phone is not connected to Wi-Fi, correct?
Right.
Then, you have iMessages, chats, Facebook, those are all transmitted through a server, correct?
They can come through the tower, because you're on the internet.
Judge, can I object at this point, and I guess can Ms. Auger give me an offer of proof or show me how this is relevant to whether or not a third party can be talked about at the trial? The state called him just to establish the time of the video to cover the alibi of Mr. Holder and the other people that they want to name as third party. When you receive a text message, I guess I don't see the relevance, Judge.
Your Honor, the relevance is, and I think that Mr.
I would agree with that.
And so the relevance is, okay.
I would agree with that, yes.
Oh, thank you. And so the relevance is something changed at 4:33 in the morning to make that cell phone.
Well, why don't you get to that specific point, then?
Well, I'm sorry.
You're dancing around the field here, because I'm wondering, as well, what does this have to do with the third-party perpetrators that you are alleging?
Okay. Well, earlier, I believe it was Jerry Holman testified that they have no evidence that Mr. Allen went back to the crime scene after maybe 3:30, and that phone, it was under LG's shoe under AW's body, according to the state, didn't move after 3:30?
Okay.
Okay? And our point is that something changed at 4:33 in the morning that it suddenly connected to the tower.
And this witness can answer that for you?
He just did.
Okay. Then, move on.
Thank you. First Sergeant Cecil, in 2019, when you first conducted your examination of the phone, what did you know about the crime?
I knew two girls from Delphi had went out on the trail, went for a walk, and then there was a video, apparently, was recorded of what was believed to be the last person that saw them, and then eventually, later on, they were found murdered. What I know about it was from what I read on the news, 'cause I was never given access to the report, never read the police report.
Did you have an understanding of the relevant time frame that you were to review in your examination?
Yes. I was there to look to see if there was anything that would help identify, like why they were out there on the trail, if they were meeting someone, anything like that.
So is it then fair to say you were only looking at data prior to 2:14 p.m. on February 13, 2017?
Prior to 2:14, yes.
Now, can you tell the court about Knowledge C, the database?
So, Your Honor, Knowledge C is a data.
Judge, I'm gonna object again. I'm not sure what she can make an offer to prove. I don't see what the relevance is of talking about Knowledge C in terms of third-party perpetrators.
Your Honor, we'll withdraw it. I think we have what we need.
Okay.
And I'll just let Mr. Baldwin make his argument and save the rest for trial.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any redirect, Mr. McClelland?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, First Sergeant. You may step down.
First Sergeant Cecil, is that a copy of the inaudible you have, or is that the exhibit?
No, this is the defense exhibit that we had from our deposition.